If you're trying to get out of your personal debt, I guarantee you the subject of credit cards has come up. And you've heard everything from cancel your credit cards to put them in a block of ice in your freezer, and even the phrase a plastectomy, where the guy is saying to cut your credit cards in half. Now, is that the right answer when you're trying to get out of debt? Well, I'm rolling in today with my 25 cents worth to give you some information that'll hopefully help you to make that decision for yourself. Oh yeah, hang around to the end of the video and I'm going to tell you how you can use your credit cards to help you get out of debt. If your goal is to get rid of your personal non-productive debt, that's a pretty good idea, actually. But if you want to operate in today's more digital society, I don't think that getting rid of your credit card in the freezer or cutting it or canceling it is actually going to be a helpful idea. There's a lot of ways that you can use to get rid of your personal debt, like the snowball effect, the avalanche. There's all kinds of different things that you can use to get out of debt. But what we're going to look at today on this video is how your credit card plays into you getting out of your personal debt. Hey guys, I'm sharing a lot of great practical finances for real people here on the Michael Clopton channel. So take just a moment and give this video a high five by hitting the like button. Also hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you can get more information that's going to help you be a financial success. And while you're at it, please share this video with someone because I know it's going to help them too. Your debit card and your credit card is digital currency. And seeing how that every year we're getting closer and closer to more total digital currency, it's becoming extremely important that you understand how to handle these financial tools in your everyday life, even while you're trying to get rid of your personal financial debts. These people who are telling you to cut up your credit card or cancel your credit card or to put your credit card in the freezer in a block of ice, they're not bad. They're just giving you some questionable advice. What they're trying to do is stop the bleeding in your finances while you're paying off your debt. It's kind of like when you take your pet to the vet and they do surgery and they put that little cone on his neck to keep him from irritating the surgery. That's kind of what they're doing. Only it helps for the moment, but it's not going to help you long term. So when I was paying off all of my personal debt, my non-productive personal debt, I chose something called the Snowball Effect, where I listed all of my debt, starting with the least amount I owed up to the largest amount I owed. And I would pay the normal payment on everything and a little extra, whatever I could come up with on that first one. Once that was paid off, I rode all of that money onto the second one, so it made that second payment even larger and continued it into my last payment, which I then became completely debt-free. And in that list was my credit cards. Now, I didn't really mess with my credit cards as long as they were on that list. So what I did while they were on the list, I made sure that I paid off all of my credit card debt, whatever that credit card debt was, and I didn't use the credit card or I didn't touch that credit card until the debts were all paid off. The truth about being financially successful is that it's steps. It's one step, then you go to the next step, and then you go to the next step, and then you go to the next step. And then once you get up there, you kind of operate things a little different because you don't have all of the same drag. You don't have all the same financial drama in your life. So you can operate things a little bit different. But you can't even get to these steps until we can clear the drag out of our life. Clear that personal debt that's dragging us down, that's causing us not to be able to move forward, that's just taking the money that we have and keeping it captive and keeping us from becoming more. So let me ask you, if you got rid of your credit cards, how would this help you in getting rid of your personal debt? It's not really your credit cards that are causing the problem. It's what you put on that credit card that may be causing your personal financial problem. So number one, you want to pay those credit cards off. You want to get them down to zero in the process of getting rid of all your negative personal debt. So if you got rid of your credit card, how would that help your future? That's a question you have to ask yourself. You still need a credit score. And a credit card can help you with increase on your credit score. Now, a lot of people will go like, well, if you got a bunch of money, you don't need a credit score. And that could be very, very true. And I've seen many times where that worked in my life. However, there are particular times, because the digital world lives by that FICO score, by your credit score, that you need that credit score in order to do other things in your future, which we'll talk about in a later video. So recently I switched insurance companies, which is something you should check quite often. And when they checked my credit score was so good, I actually got $15 a month off of what I had previously been paying because of my credit score, which is my ability to repay any debts that I have. I don't think that debts are bad. I think there are bad debts, but I don't think that debt is bad. And if you don't have a good credit score, not only are you going to get a good deal on a credit card, but you won't get a good deal on any other loans that you may find yourself needing to have for the various reasons that will cause increase in your life. A credit card is one of those things that can help you with your credit score. Now let's talk about how a credit card can help you get rid of all your personal credit debt. I know that almost sounds like a opposite day, doesn't it? Or upside down world, but it can help you. Now, in my journey, once I paid all of my credit cards off to zero, I started using this technique that I'm getting ready to tell you how to use for getting rid of your debt. Now, my credit card numbers were actually in some of the lower in my Snowball, and I paid off my credit cards pretty early in the game. So all of my credit cards have a percentage of money back. So if I spend something on my credit card, I get 2%, 3%, 5% back, depending on what the credit card situation is. So once I got to those higher number, or those last two items that were on my list, and they were pretty large items, I would take my clear credit card that would give me the most percentage back, the most dollars back on anything that I spent, and I paid whatever that payment was this month for that situation. The very last one was my car. So let's use my car as the example. So I took my credit card and I paid my car loan that month. So in paying my car loan, I got money back for using my credit card. And I took the money that I got back and I was able to apply that to the money I had charged to pay for my car, and I was down that percentage more. Plus, because I was paying off my car earlier, I wasn't accumulating the debt on the car, and I was clearly paying off that credit card before the end of the month, so I didn't accumulate more. Each credit card has its own way of doing things, and if you are paying off personal debt, I think you should have a credit card that has money back, that gives you money back for having it. Another thing that I did on the loan just before my car is that I was offered, my credit score was good, I was offered a card that gave me 18 months of 0% interest. So yeah, I took it. And then I took what I owed on the next to the last debt and I put it on that card. I continued to do the Snowball payment just like I always did, but I got rid of the interest, and that particular thing had a high interest. So I was able to take my credit card with a 0% interest rate for 18 months and pay off that debt. That is a good way to use your credit card, and it was paid off long before the 18 months, and it saved me all of that money. So your credit cards can be a great tool in helping you reduce your debt. You just use them smart. Now there's one other thing that I want to tell you before we go today, and that is, if you are having trouble with your credit cards and you're not able to pay them down, something happens in your life and you go for retail therapy. Come to your YouTube dad here. Let me tell you something. Let me be honest with you, and this is something somebody needs to tell you and they just haven't. If you can't control your credit cards, you need to go talk to a life coach, because there's something else going on here. It isn't about what you're buying. It isn't even the credit cards or your inability to control the credit cards. It's the inability to control something here. because you're probably not just having trouble with your credit cards, but you're also probably having trouble with just handling money as well. And look, I understand, we don't know what we don't know, and we haven't really been taught how to handle our finances successfully in most of our schools. But there are some who teach it, and there is some information. I didn't start right where I'm at. Well, actually, that's kind of a good thing because at least I've grown. But I started in a pretty poor family and have risen to where I am today. And I'm proud of that because I took time to learn. I took time to learn how to handle my money and my credit cards instead of them handling me. So if you're really having a problem with your credit card and you pull it out every time that you get depressed, honestly, go talk to somebody because there's something going on deeper inside of you that has nothing to do with money, that has nothing to do with willpower, that has nothing to do with finances. It's something more. And there you have it. There's my 25 cents worth of information to help you make a better decision. It's your choice, it's your money, it's your future, and it's your life. Do you keep your credit card or do you get rid of it? That's the question you need to ask yourself, and I hope some of the information I presented today helps you make a decision for yourself. All right, guys, thank you for tuning in to my channel today. And if you haven't already, give this video a high five by hitting that like button below and hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you can get more videos. We have a lot of great information coming to help you be a success. Thank you, and I'll see you again over there in that next video. Can't find the thing.